In this video, the City of Topeka will show you how to respond to a bid event on the Supplier portal. In order to submit a bid to a City of Topeka bid opportunity, you will start at www.topeka.org, the city's home website. Start by clicking on the For Businesses dropdown and clicking Bid Opportunities. On the City of Topeka Supplier Portal website, you will first want to start by clicking Anonymous and signing in to your account. If your username and password do not populate, enter your username and password. Please remember that when you registered, these are case and space sensitive. Click Sign In. If you have not yet established security questions for your Supplier Portal account, you can answer those questions if this screen comes up and click Save to avoid getting this reminder to set up your security questions. If you don't have time to do so, you can click the house icon in the upper left-hand screen to navigate to the home page and bypass that process. Click Browse Open Bid Events. Locate the bid event that you would like to supply a bid to. I would like to supply a bid response to the formal uniforms for the Topeka Police Department apparel bid. Double-click on the bid event to open up the details. You will have three options at the top. If the question and answer period is still open. If the question and answer period of the bid event is no longer open, this box will not be available. The City of Topeka establishes Q&A periods for most bid opportunities to give bidders in the community an opportunity to ask questions about specifications or project details if there is something that is not clear or ambiguous in the bid specifications. If I do not want to supply a bid, I can click No Bid. The city does not require you to do this, but would ask that you do so if there is a reason or obligation that the city has specified that you would like to let the city know is not something the company is capable of fulfilling, such as a delivery date or a product that the company may or may not be capable of providing. In order to submit a bid, you'll use this button, Respond Now. First, I will take an opportunity to show you the details within these tabs and what the city is doing when we are posting bid events. You see here the event name is Formal Uniforms for the Topeka Police Department. It opened on June 5th at 2 p.m. and it's going to close on June 20th at 2 p.m. The city is allowing an open Q&A period for bidders to submit questions from June 5th at 2:01, which closes on June 14th at noon. Until then, this button will be available for your use. The City of Topeka is seeking bids for the purchase of formal uniforms and accessories for the Topeka Police Department that conform to the specifications provided herein. The rules of this bid include it's an informal bid. The bids are sealed, line responses are required, and we are not requiring a bid bond. On the Attachments tab, you will see there are two attachments available for review. Click on the blue font to open each of those and review the detailed specifications. Again, formal uniforms for the City of Topeka Police Department. The city is seeking bids for the purchase of formal uniforms and accessories for the Topeka Police Department that conform to the specifications provided herein. The quantities listed are estimated annual quantities. The city reserves the right to increase or decrease the actual quantities ordered. Bid prices should reflect accurate pricing per unit regardless of the quantity purchased per order. So it's very important to read and understand the specifications with every bid event. What the city is saying here is that these are estimated quantities that we hope to order throughout each year. What we're asking for is for bidders to provide pricing based on these quantities, but the pricing should be for each item so that the city can say the police department hopes to take advantage of bulk ordering prices, but the city must have bidders provide their per unit price in order to evaluate bids in their entirety. Continue to review the specification document and what is required for your submittal to your bid response. Bidders must bid on all items to be considered. Bidders must complete and upload the Excel bid form with their unit price for each bid item. Bidders must enter their lump sum total bid from their Excel bid form in the unit price field of their line response. The bid will be awarded to the lowest responsive responsible bidder. The awarded bidder is expected to enter into a one-year contract with an option to renew for 4 additional one-year periods. Inspection. Items purchased are subject to inspection and approval at the city's destination. The city of Topeka reserves the right to reject and refuse acceptance of items which are not in accordance with any order. Rejected materials or equipment shall be removed by or at the expense of the seller. Continue to review any other details pertaining to the expectations of the bid. When you're finished, use the back button to navigate back to the bid event in the portal. You'll see the next item is the Excel bid form, as mentioned in the specifications. Click the blue font to open that attachment. Depending on what type of file is on this list, it will either need to download or be able to open into another window of your browser. If it is an Excel form or a Microsoft Word document, it will download to your PC in order for you to open the file. You will see here that this is a very simple bid form. It wants your company name, and it wants your unit prices. Note, Flying Cross Class A long sleeve dark navy men's with the item number based on Flying Cross brand is indicated here. The unit price for one shirt as specified is going to be $32. Yellow is telling me what fields must be filled out by the bidder. Once I enter 32, the fields the city needs will populate based on formulas in the Excel document. Once you have indicated the pricing for each of these items, the total bid amount has now summed the column for a total bid. This is what the instructions indicate we need to enter on our line item bid response. Enter your total bid from your Excel bid form in your line item response. I must make sure that this number is going to be the same as what I enter on my bid. I must make sure that my totals based on the quantity are calculating correctly. The city awards based on unit price, not total. If your unit price is incorrect, that is going to be the bidder's responsibility. So 276 is going to be my total. I will save this to my PC. In order to upload it with my bid response as instructed. I will review my terms and conditions of the bid event. And just to highlight a couple, I'm going to review the general by double clicking It says, thank you for your interest. All data is subject to the website. In the state of Kansas statutes, the city operates under the central time zone. The city strives to include as many suppliers as possible to enhance competitive sealed bidding. And registration on the city ePro website does not guarantee the organization will receive notification of every bidding opportunity. I'm going to go back and I'm going to open the disclaimer. The city attempts to maintain continuous access to the supplier portal. However, from time to time, access may be interrupted. The city will do its best to communicate with all suppliers registered in the system and the general public by use of the city's website if there are ever issues, upgrades, or instances in which our supplier portal will be unavailable to the public for viewing. Bids will all be adjusted to accommodate and allow vendors adequate time to supply qualified bid responses. Amendments to bids to ensure maximum access opportunities for users, events, and solicitations shall typically be posted for a minimum of 10 days, and no amendment shall typically be made within the last 3 days before the event or solicitation is due. Bidders and vendors are cautioned that the competitive nature of their offers could be affected if their submission does not include all amendments. For this reason, bidders and vendors are advised to revisit all solicitations to which they intend to respond 3 days prior to the due date. It's the bidders or vendors' responsibility to check the website from time to time for updates to events and solicitations and to pick up additional addenda and information. All bids shall be considered firm for a period of 45 calendar days from the bid opening date, unless otherwise stated in the bid specification documents. If bidders have a concern about bid specifications or any term or condition that they believe restricts competition, bidders must contact in writing the procurement buyer assigned no later than 5 days prior to bid closing. Upon receipt, the procurement buyer will research the issue and provide a response within 5 days. Failure to submit a question or concern within the 5-day period will waive any right the bidder may have to challenge the bid or bid award. I'll click back. Standard terms and conditions opens another file, which will have the vendor or bidder review all of the documents and terms and conditions pertaining to the bid event. It is very important that you double click on each of these and review the rules and regulations that accompany the bid itself. There will be sections that bidders must sign and upload with their bid event. Clicking back, you can just navigate back to the main page to double click and continue reviewing. Once I've reviewed all of the terms and conditions associated with this bid event, I will click on my next tab on the left to go to the lines. This is how I submit my bid. In order to review the line, you can double click on it to see, enter your lump sum total bid from your Excel bid form in the unit price field of your line response and a quantity of 1 in the quantity field of your line response. Upload your Excel bid form and submit with your bid response. You must click submit to submit your bid. And here I see that the requested delivery date is July 20th of 2025. That indicates that the city is looking to place its first order and have it delivered by this date. I will click back. And the last item on the left is Q&A form. I can click there to see if there have been any questions asked or answered by bidders in the city of Topeka. If I'm ready to submit my bid, I click Respond Now. It's very similar to the registration process, as it will walk you through the various tabs required to submit a bid response. First, it will want you to indicate that you've accepted the terms and conditions for this event and confirm that you're authorized to accept the terms and conditions and submit bids for your company. Click Next. It will move to the Line Response tab. This is where you will respond to the bid with your line response by double-clicking. A new window populates with these two tabs. And again, you see the instructions for enter your lump sum total bid from your Excel bid form in the unit price field. Here is the unit price field. I will enter my bid amount. And a quantity of 1 in the quantity field of your line response. Here is my quantity field, 1. My vendor item is going to be my total bid. My description again, total bid. My unit of measure is the same unit of measure that the city has indicated on the line. I can enter EA. My delivery date, I will want to enter this delivery date to indicate my estimated time for delivery for the initial order. As the city indicated, they wanted it by July 2025. I will enter July 2025. In this response comment field, it's very beneficial if you have other terms, questions, or items to indicate, to say delivery date July 1, 2025, if purchase order issued by city on or before September 1st, 2024. Details like that are important to highlight here if they are necessary. You can click Next to move forward. After I click Next, my summary tab shows the line response that I have just entered. I will click Finish, and it will reflect on my line response tab now on my main bid response page. I will click Next. Response attachments. This is where you will upload any documents or required information that the city has noted in the specifications. Create will populate a window that allows you to search on your PC and upload your bid form and any other required literature that the city needs in order to make a valid award and conduct a valid review of the product or information you're submitting. Once I have my literature in my bid form, I will make sure before I submit that my line item matches my total bid amount, 276. By clicking this line response, 276, I can click Next. My attachments are there. I can click Next. Your response is ready to be submitted. Your bid amount is 276. Click the Submit button to complete your response. Once I click Submit, the following action submit completed successfully. It will stay on this page. You are welcome to print your response to PDF to your computer so that you can see we responded to 1 out of 1 for a bid amount of 276. And it shows my line item that I entered here is 276 with a delivery date of July 1st. If the city issues a PO on or before September 1st of this year. I can go back and I can click the home button to go to the home screen. If you want to see or modify your response prior to the bid closing, click My Responses. Responses open for award. And you can see that our response is in submitted status. You can view your response. You can modify your response withdraw your response, or refresh the screen. If my bid total is incorrect, I will want to modify my response. Your response must be resubmitted once modified. Do you want to continue? Yes. Now it allows me to double click on my line item response and modify it. Once I modify it, click off the field and your save button will be available. Click save. Then you can click back on the browser to navigate back to your bid screen. You will see my price now has been updated to include the 50 cents. My attachment would need to be corrected. I can open my attachment, correct my price, resave my document to my computer, and I can click on my document here, click delete on the old bid form, click from this create menu button to create a new attachment, browse files on my computer, select my new bid form, and click my save button. To view it and make sure that I've uploaded the correct document, I can click the view button, open that document, and see that it reflects my new pricing. Then I can click the back button, and my new document shows here as I've attached it. I can then click submit, and now my bid has again been submitted successfully. If I want to withdraw my response because I can no longer offer those goods or services as required by the city, I go to my responses, I go to that same tab, responses open for award. I can view my response and I can click withdraw response. Are you sure you want to perform the following action? Withdraw response. Yes. My withdraw response has been completed successfully. If for some reason I have time and I want to again submit my bid, I can just simply reinstate my response, which submits your bid. Click the home button. Once that bid has been closed, it will no longer show on this screen. Bids are sealed until after 2 o'clock. Your bid must be submitted on or before 1:59 p.m. Central Time in order for it to be received by the city. 2 p.m. is the closing time. Therefore, at 2 p.m., these will be removed from viewing and accessibility. Again, that was how to submit your bid on the City of Topeka supplier portal. Thank you.